Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Rob Thacker. I'm the music director here at St. John's. Please rise and body your spirit as we sing our gathering hymn for the final time this month, 298, Wake Now, My Senses, the first three verses.
Good morning. The chalice reading, is Deepening the Spirit by the Reverend Cynthia Landrum. We light this chalice, the beacon that calls us to love, to justice, to a deepening of the Spirit.
Good morning. How do you feel being back at 11 a.m.? Noted. I'm Rev. Jenn Gracen, and it's my joy to welcome you to St. John's Unitarian Universalist Community Church. Here we are a community of love and courage, companions on the journey of life. You are welcome here, whoever you are, wherever you come from, whatever joys or burdens you carry, you are welcome here. If you are certain or questioning, hopeful or heartbroken, grounded or searching, we honor the richness of our community's diversity, racial, cultural, economic, of age and ability, of gender identity and sexual orientation, of belief and doubt. Each of us brings gifts that strengthen the whole. We welcome you today as we move into our new church year, and I want to give you a heads up that today our service is different than usual. Each year, we spend time reflecting on what we've learned at General Assembly, the yearly gathering of Unitarian Universalists that happens in June. And today we are going to invite you to reflect as well. You should have received 3 cards today. If you didn't, please raise your hand. Everybody did?
Thanks to our awesome.
I was going to say, rocking it, ushers. Nice. So on each of these cards is each of the three questions that we are addressing today. For question 1, Wanda, Erica, and Joetta will be discussing their thoughts. For question 2, you have an opportunity to speak to those around you or reflect on your own. And for question 3, I will share a short homily. Now, you can fill out all of the cards, so you get an opportunity to reflect on all the questions. Near the end of the service, we will collect any of the cards you'd like to share with us in baskets. You're welcome to keep them if you'd rather. And if you're joining us online, please feel free to email me your responses. My email is revjen@stjohnsuu.org. There is much happening in the life of our congregation. You can learn more from your order of service on the screens in the lobby or in Kroll Pfeiffer. For now, please take a moment to silence your cell phones, settle into this space, and know that you are truly welcome.
We will now sing hymn 1020, Woyaya. Please rise in body or spirit.
Please join me now in our shared affirmation. This is the mission of our faith, to teach the fragile art of hospitality, to revere both the critical mind and the generous heart, to prove that diversity need not mean divisiveness, and to witness to all that we must hold the whole world in our hands. Okay, I invite Wanda and Erica to join me. My name is Joetta Pro. I'm the immediate past president of St. John's, and Wanda is the current president of our congregation, and Erica is the vice president. And you'll hear a little bit from us as a trio this morning. Okay, I have a microphone and I've been instructed how to properly use it. Thank you, Roberto. So, this service builds on the experiences that Reverend Jenn and Erica and Wanda and I had when we attended this year's Unitarian Universalist Association General Assembly, commonly shorthanded as GA. Each year, several thousand UUs from around the world gather to discuss, learn, and grow in our faith together. This year, the theme for this multi-platform General Assembly, both in person and online, the theme was Meet the Moment. Programming was structured around this theme using the 3 questions on your cards. Amazing discussions during General Assembly focused on meeting the moment with regard to 10 different topics. So the people present in person in Baltimore and online chose one of 10 topics that they wanted to look at these questions for. Those topics were everything from social justice, anti-racism, religious education, worship, fundraising, many different topics. And we delved deeply over the course of 3 days into these 3 questions. So today, the 3 of us are going to reflect upon this moment, if you will, for us here at St. John's and for us personally. And we're going to begin with Erica setting kind of the broader context, reflecting on that a bit.
Thank you, Joetta. What is the moment we are in? It's a big question. Our answers to this and the following questions depend very much on the context we choose, the lenses we use, which to some extent also depend upon the positions we occupy. I suspect many UUs would focus on the ugliness in our national life right now, but we also inhabit larger, transnational and smaller, more local communities, as well as our immediate communities of congregants. We belong to families, to professions, to affinity groups, which may or may not be impacted by what happens nationally or internationally. I am reminded of Thornton Wilder's Our Town and the letter a minister addresses to Jane Crawford, the Crawford Farm, Grover's Corners, Sutton County, New Hampshire, United States of America, continent of North America, Western Hemisphere, the Earth, the solar system, the universe, the mind of God. And then there are abiding interests through which we filter and focus our experiences. Are we concerned about global warming or environmental degradation? Do we focus on international issues, the Ukraine war, nuclear dangers, the suffering in Gaza or Sudan? What about questions about the growth of social media and the injection of AI into our understanding of the worlds that we inhabit? Are we concerned about the integrity of our government and the rule of law? Of course, there are many more possible lenses. So how do you frame this question? That's what's important here. Wanda, tell us how the board addressed the question.
So the board used the 3 meet the moment questions at the start of our day-long board retreat in early August. The frame for our discussion was very local. What is the moment we are in at St. John's? We reflected on one question at a time, wrote on sticky notes, and then created a collage for each question as we shared our individual reflections. And you can see our lovely, colorful collages up there, even if you can't read what we wrote. But I'll tell you about that. As we listened to each other, we were struck by congruences. 3 themes emerged in response to the first question. What is the moment we are in at St. John's? The first theme is transition. As a congregation, we are in a liminal space, a space between, as we work with our interim minister and begin a search for our next minister. We are shifting from looking inward to looking outward. Second theme, anticipation. There's excitement here. Who will be our next minister? What in our identity and vision will St. John's lean into? Trust is growing. More building improvements begin this year. We're becoming a friendlier, warmer congregation. We're welcoming more newcomers, knowing that Unitarian Universalism offers a beacon of fierce, life-giving love. We are in the doorway of transformation. The third theme we identified, uncertainty. So much chaos and suffering around us. The external chaos affects us individually. At this moment here, we have particular challenges of smaller size and seeing beloved congregants age. Their challenges in energy and capacity. We are stretched for leaders to fill roles, and yet over 35 people were nominated for the minister search team. We see each other's gifts. So it's all of that at once.
So, what is the moment here at St. John's? I believe the moment here is one that holds great promise, even amidst the uncertainty that Wanda spoke of. So many things feel up in the air right now, don't they? Tolerating and navigating both the possibilities and the anxiety seems important, seems like an important task. As Wanda said, we don't yet know who our new minister will be, and this year will include some focus in preparation for that. And we are on the cusp of raising money. Yes, I had to mention that. More money for our building improvements, right? How much money will we raise? We don't know yet. With so much harm being done in our world right now, this moment is definitely one that requires us to take care of ourselves, first and foremost, and each other along with that. So thank goodness for beloved community here at St. John's, right? And this is also a moment when we need to identify the ways that we can make a positive difference in spite of all that's going on in our world. As a board member, this moment provides the opportunity to continue building trust with the congregation, using transparency and good stewardship as the keys. At a personal level, this moment is one that requires me to consciously work at maintaining my equilibrium. We invite you, during the course of this morning, to jot down anything you wish about your reflections of this moment at St. John's or for yourself on card number 1. Rev. Jenn.
And feel free to take just a moment to consider it and jot some ideas down or notes down if you would like. David needs a new pen. Look at community. I know a couple people came in a little later. Does anybody need cards now? Everybody's got cards? Oh, we have one person who needs cards near the back, right? Perfect. Our first discussion ended a tiny bit early, so we had some time to sort this out. Anybody else need pens? Couple. Over there as well. Look. Martha, do you need a pen? Martha could use another pen so she doesn't have to look for one.
Okay, so at the end, we'll collect the pins in two groups, the ones that worked and the ones that didn't. Because the ones that didn't can be recycled at the hub.
Anybody else need a pen or a pencil? Martha needs another one. Just having a bad morning for working pens. Oh, that will work. All right. Every week, we make time in our service to ground ourselves in what we value. We celebrate and honor our community here at St. John's by coming forward to place stones representing all that we carry into the sands of our beloved community. If you would like a joy or concern to be read, please leave them on the table. And if you are joining us online, please enter them in chat, and somebody will share them with me. Who's my chat person? Claire? Great. And we will read them from the pulpit. Pete shares that he is so glad that St. John's is part of the Immigrant Dignity Coalition. Amen. And Erica says today is her husband Bill's 80th birthday, and she says we'll celebrate with cupcakes and an album of our wedding photos. And I'm told we're not seeing any joys or concerns from those of you who are online, but we're also having some glitchy trouble. So if there's something you wanted shared that doesn't get shared, please feel free to email me and we'll get it in next week. I invite you into a spirit of prayer meditation with these words by Reverend Lynn Cox. Spirit of life, ever adapting and renewing, we come together this morning with yearnings that do not match. We yearn for stability, for even one moment of feeling like we know what is going on, for the ability to protect and prepare for what is coming next. Yet we also yearn for change. We ache for a world that turns aside from racism, violence, dehumanization, and disregard for suffering. We pray for a change in the illness, grief, isolation, incarceration, and vulnerability of our loved ones. We reach for connections that will remind us that we are worthy as we are, and we reach for connections that will help us become our best selves. Hold us in the heart of both and. Cradle us in the mystery. Cherish us in the eternal presence of love, and encourage us on the path of growth and development. As individuals and as people, help us to become who we are called to be. Lead us to open pathways to deeper wisdom through reconciliation, self-respect, mutual respect, compassion, owning and making amends for our mistakes. Source of wonder, move us to express and live in gratitude for the beauty of this world, the loving people in our lives, and this day of possibility. To this we add the meditations of our hearts as we enter a few moments of silence. Amen. I want to invite the children and families and anyone else who feels called to come forward for our story for all ages. The story today is called Translating the Word, and I've adapted it a little, and Peter Rollins, who created it, adapted it from a Buddhist parable. So it's an adapted story of an adapted story. So once there was this woman, her name was Sarah, and she lived in a very small country far away from here, and she felt this powerful, powerful call on her life. Did you ever feel like there was really, really something you should be doing, something you wanted to do that you thought would be good? Did you ever have that feeling? Laura's had that feeling. You guys had that feeling sometimes? Yeah, so she became convinced she wanted to translate the Bible for her people. It wasn't in a language they could read, and so she wanted to do that. But the problem was they didn't have anything like printing presses, and she didn't know any people who knew how to translate it from one language to her language. So she decided she was going to save up the money. And so she sold all of her stuff, and she moved even onto the streets. I don't think there's much I would go that far for. But she started to slowly save the money. And after 15 years, she almost had enough money when a nearby town was struck by a devastating flood. And she immediately decided to spend all the money that she had saved to help the people. She helped buy food, she helped get people in shelters, she bought the supplies that people needed to get back on their feet. And all the money was gone after 15 years. And so she started again, because she still felt this powerful call on her life to do this. And 9 years later, she had almost saved the money again, because people started to give her a little more. They knew who she was and how much she helped people out. And there was a plague. And so she spent it all again, helping people, giving them what they needed, helping them get through it. And she felt a little bad that she wasn't fulfilling her call, and so she started to save again, and it was another 10 years, and she was getting actually kind of old, and she wasn't feeling well, and she finally had enough money. And so she bought a printing press, and she got the Bible translated. But after she passed, people said that she actually translated the Bible 3 times, and the first 2 were the brightest. The end.
May your mind be open to new learning. May your lips bring truth into the world. May your heart full love and praise the work of justice as you go your way in peace. May our minds be open to new learning. May our lips bring truth into your word. May our hearts feel love and praise the work of justice as we go our way in peace. As we go our way in peace.
So now's your opportunity to dig in to our next question, which is, what are the most urgent needs and important opportunities of this moment? And if you've been at St. John's for a while, I invite you to add 4 St. John's. If this is your first time here, what are the most important needs and opportunities for you? You're invited to speak to those around you, or you can just write without talking to anyone else. You have about 7 or 8 minutes. If you're online, once again, feel free to respond in chat, but that's risky. You can also email me at revjenn, Jenn, at stjohnsuu.org. And talk now. Which makes it even harder because and with so much uncertainty. I know in my world, if there's so much uncertainty, I'm less likely to spend my myself. Which makes sense. Attention, but I know most people
Funding stopped a decade ago.
we were on the verge of curing cancer. Sorry. I know we can't vaccinate Addie for COVID. She's 4. And all of a sudden the rules have changed. It's like we're all about vaccine choice. Now,
But now we're just going to say no. The opposite direction. Non-mandate. Be upset about that.
mandate, we can't do it. I know, and I've seen with the
That's right. Survived. Some of us survived.
that's what it's happened. I was like, well, we got through COVID. We got somebody
Distracted.
I'm paying attention. They've got 4 more minutes.
Yeah.
If they start sounding like they're really off track.
Really doesn't look like a lot of my research is on vaccine stuff.
Great medical advancement.
Studies that the science didn't just turn the rack on data and say, no, this person has this concern about autism. Study after study after study is like,
I would say more lives and improve more lives than almost any other advancement. Keep telling you she makes it this time.
Charles made a comment, and Claire's going to send it to you.
Okay, ready? If you can hear this, clap once. If you can hear this, clap twice. Clap 3 times.
kind of worked.
Okay, if you can hear this, clap 4 times. Woohoo! I do want to share a concern. They sorted out the chat issue with the glitch, and Charles shared a concern that says, my most urgent concern is how to do my part to resist the destruction of our democracy. I often feel stuck. I'm with you, Charles. So I hope you had a generative conversation or opportunity to write down. And once again, please feel free to answer the questions and put them in the basket or keep them for yourselves when they come around. And that will be it during the last song. Our offering words today are by Reverend Erica Hewitt. The offering that we take each Sunday isn't just a stale habit. It's an opportunity to recommit to this place, to these people. Our offering is an affirmation, a yes. When we give, we say yes to something we value. With our gifts freely given, may we say yes to the values of our faith. May our offering help us practice Unitarian Universalism within and beyond our congregation as tools to empower our mission. St. John's is committed to creating a safe and caring community, working for peace and social justice, and celebrating beliefs that respect freedom of thought.
Yeah, thank you. I was just reveling in the David Bunderle Tanze Nummer 7 by Schumann. Vielen Dank. Yes. Please rise and body your spirit as we sing hymn 354, We Laugh, We Cry, and we will sing verses 1 and 4.
Freedom.
In June of last year, the General Assembly of 24, the General Assembly of our Unitarian Universalist Association voted to update the section of our bylaws that previously outlined the 7 principles and 6 sources that have guided the association, and add a statement of shared values in Unitarian Universalism, values centered around love. You can see a diagram of this on the front of your order of service. Some people have grown fond of the acronym JETPIG to remember the values, which my wife has pointed out works well in the land of the flying pig. The values shared by member congregations in the Unitarian Universalist Association are justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity. Going deeper into each of these is perhaps for a series of sermons rather than a short homily. But a key thing I want you to remember today is that Unitarian Universalist values are centered around love and draw from love. The group that worked to discern the value statement was surprised at how often the word love came up in interviews with Unitarian Universalists, and yet the word was nowhere to be found in our previous statement of shared principles. So when they outlined our values, they placed love at the center, and they chose to place other values in a circle rather than a list, emphasizing that there's no particular order or hierarchy to them, even if you use JETPIG. They all work together to guide the lives of Unitarian Universalists. As I consider how these values can guide us in this time, I'm reminded of Timothy Snyder's 20 lessons on fighting tyranny. Snyder calls us to take responsibility for the face of the world, to respond to this moment. Snyder encourages us to believe in truth and be kind to our language, thinking up our own ways of speaking. As fear increases and misinformation spreads, we tend to draw our circles narrowly and to stop talking freely out of concern for what the consequences might be. Our Unitarian Universalist value of pluralism, both in our communities and our congregations, encourages us to defend truth and to honor a diversity of voices. In times of fear, the voices that speak that truth can be silenced, but we don't have to cooperate. Snyder reminds us that we need one another, and to resist tyranny, he encourages us to make eye contact, to engage in small talk, and to build local communities. Isolation supports tyranny, and it's through connection, through communities like St. John's, that we're able to resist. And it is our Unitarian Universalist value of interdependence that reminds us our freedom is tied to the freedom of others. And it's through even small acts that we can strengthen our connections with each other. When Virginia and I lived in Crystal Lake before we moved here, we loved the local Buy Nothing group. It became a connected community of people providing support for one another. This is the value of generosity and what it can offer to community. Generosity creates a world that is open, hopeful, connected, and resilient. Generosity helps us, as Timothy Snyder says, take responsibility for the face of the world. And the final value we are going to touch on today is justice. What does justice centered in love call us to do in this moment? Timothy Snyder suggests it is to defend institutions and to stand out. An authoritarian society erodes justice by attacking courts, elections, and human rights. Siding with love calls us to show up for justice by protecting institutions and the people who are impacted as best we can. My beloved spiritual companions, what do our shared values call us to do in response to this moment? I welcome you to reflect as well and share your cards or reach out for a conversation as you are willing to do. Live love into this hurting world. Speak truth in all the places you can. Build community both inside and outside these walls. Blessed be. Amen. All right, we have a couple of announcements. As always, I encourage you to look in the order of service. There's even an insert. There are so many announcements. So I'm not going to go over them because look in here. And another announcement, we're going to collect the cards during Fire of Commitment. So please sing your heart out, but also pay attention when the baskets come around. And our final announcement, please sign up to help Jeff with coffee hour cleanup. He's on vacation today. You can sign up on the stand near the entrance to Kroll Pfeiffer.
I will just add on the 11th of September, there's a little, choir gathering, if you will. So come join us if you want to sing with the choir. And on the 11th of September, we'll have a little social. So please rise and embody your spirit as we sing our closing hymn 1028, The Fire of Commitment.
Sets our minds
we extinguish this chalice flame, may the warmth of its light remain within us, guiding our steps and our hearts. Let us carry forward the strength of this community, the courage to speak truth, and the hope that transformation is possible. In each breath we take, may we remember that the work of love, justice, and healing is ours to continue, both here and beyond these walls. Go in peace, with the light of this gathering to illuminate your way. Blessed be.